Sports in the building. Yo, NFL Combine is over. I just released and will be tweeting out and releasing. You can check ERhymesSports on Facebook, and I'll put some of it on Instagram and Twitter, my first mock draft. So I'm basically going with Kyler Murray, then Nick Bosa, Josh Allen, Quentin Williams. I could switch. 3 quarterbacks, no running backs. Drew Lock is not in there. Daniel Jones, and I think Redskins, Dwayne Haskins, Giants. But the Cardinals will trade Josh Rosen to the Dolphins or somebody. Maybe even to the Skins, you never know. But Kyler Murray going to go number 1 to the Arizona Cardinals. It's going down. Cliff Kingsbury needs him. I'm going to break it down. We're going to get into the top 25. Carolina's number 3. Duke's number 4. Yeah, Gonzaga. So we'll talk about that. March Madness is just less than 2 weeks away now. All right, the 17th. Get your brackets ready. Get your bracket. Can you hack it? So Run Rich Run was great. Deion Sanders, the cornerbacks and safeties were today. Good NFL Combine. We'll break that down. NBA, Lakers and Celtics are struggling. Lakers might not make the playoffs. They have to beat the Clippers tonight. We'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? A little NFL, little NBA. Don't you want to stand? Really don't play. ERhymesSports in the building. Yo, steadily the Meta Least pedigree better be better than being the Phillies paying Bryce Harper $330 million. Woo! Peace. Check it out. Let's talk some NFL Combine now. Yeah, ERhymesSports in the building. Yo, so I told you what it is. NFL Combine. It's over 4 days. Here's my mock. I'm going with Kyler Murray. Okay. You see how that goes. Nick Bosa, Josh Allen. I think Quentin Williams, with what he did at 303, and I mean, he basically is like Aaron Donald. So I don't think he drops to 4. He might go 2 to the Niners. It just depends on, Nick Bosa does have that technique. But as you can see, going all the way down and breaking down this list, there are definitely some very talented players. My Pittsburgh Steelers, who are probably going to lose Antonio Brown and Lev Bell. I think they got to go defense. And if they can get Byron Murphy, that corner, they need a linebacker, but I like that. The Patriots, I think they're going to get a safety. Chung and McCourty are old. I like this kid, Adderley. Nazir from Delaware. There were some good players. Greedy Williams looked a little sloppy. He could slip, and Murphy could be the number 1 corner. But the tight ends were impressive. The linebackers were running like crazy. Defensive line. It was a good draft. The first tight end, the Iowa kid, T.J. Hawkinson. I think 2 go in the first round. But the Falcons will either take him or a corner. They could take Byron Murphy. We know they need corners. But a tight end would really help. I don't think Hooper's the answer. I think a tight end would help Matt Ryan. Look, you got Sunday coming up, NFL free agency frenzy. Let's see what happens with trades and Antonio. The new league year is March 13th. A lot's going to be happening with the NFL, man. But this combine was very impressive. Josh Jacobs is the only running back who's in the running for the first round. I had him, but then I took him out of my first mock. Maybe he'll make it in the second. The Ravens could use a running back. We'll see how that happens. I think Seattle could take a tight end. They could also go with another corner. It's going to be interesting. A lot of trades, a lot of movement. What happens with Nick Foles? Does he go to the Jaguars? If so, then what do they do with this pick? You see what I got, right? There you go. So one guy that I had out of here was Jalen Ferguson and Drew Lock and Josh Jacobs. Those are 3 guys that could wind up being in a first round. I don't have them in the first round. So it all just depends on your preference, but I'll tweet this out and put this up on, it's already up on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And all that good stuff. The NFL, this is a great time of year. You know what I mean? If you're really a big fan and you're just hyped up and going crazy, and you're ready to see some trades, some signings. It's definitely hard if you're a Steeler fan because you don't know what's going to happen. Let's talk about college hoops, y'all. The rankings came out. Yeah. So what is it all about? Without a doubt. Yeah, let's get it. NFL.com. So we know we've got, for college hoops, Gonzaga, Kentucky. I don't know where it went, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's talk some NBA. You got the Bucks already clinched, the Raptors. The Pacers are still holding on. Look at the standings with these Pacers, man. Give them credit. They still could fall down, but it looks like Boston doesn't want to, pass them. So for the sake of what we hope, the Pacers will play the Celtics, and then the Final Four, we want it to be basically Milwaukee against Boston, Toronto against Philly. Those are the four best teams. So let's hope that Philly and Boston don't play in that 4-5. But how about Detroit? They've been hot. I think they've won 10 of their last 13. You see they're moving up. The question is, in the East, who's going to finish 7 and 8? Is Orlando? Is Charlotte? Brooklyn drops down. We know the bottom feeders, not much is going on. And when it comes to, the Knicks are really bad. The West is definitely the story is at the bottom. We know the Warriors, what they're doing, and how that's, coming to play. We got to figure out, if the Lakers lose to the Clippers tonight, and they've been struggling, losing to the Suns, Grizzlies, all these teams, should they just stop it and just tell LeBron, hey, let's go for it next season? Sacramento still has a shot. You got to believe the Clippers are going to make the playoffs. The Rockets keep moving up, the Spurs. But look at that. Clippers have moved up. Spurs are dropping down, okay? See Utah. The Rockets could probably get all the way up to the 3. They're at that 5 right now. Nice win over the Celtics. And Portland's tough, adding Rodney Hood and Enes Kanter. So there's still a lot going on with them and how that's going to play out. So we'll see what happens next with them when it comes to the NBA playoffs. Like 5 weeks away, basically. All right, so get ready, strap on your boots. NBA is definitely popping off. It is going to be so exciting to see, what these teams do and how it all, plays out. So let's get to the college hoops. Yeah, you see Gonzaga, Virginia, North Carolina, Duke. Big win, Tennessee, taking care of Kentucky at home, right? You got to believe the ACC, they're not going to get 3 number 1 seeds. They'll probably get 2. So the Duke, North Carolina loser, and then whoever does not make it to the final game of the 3 of them will go down to the 2 line. But I think they'll get 2 number 1 seeds if these 3 teams basically win out and they all get to the semis and finals in the ACC tournament. ACC is the best conference in basketball, and Big Ten, SEC probably this year. Really good. Maryland lost to Michigan the other day. See, Michigan moves up. Michigan State keeps getting these injuries. But look at this. Wow. Texas Tech, the Big 12. Now, Kansas, they have a shot to tie Kansas State, after that win. But when you look at the Big 12, and you see the Big 10, the question is, does the Big East get 3 or can they get St. John's, right? Marquette, Villanova, Xavier. Can St. John's get in? How many teams does the Big 12 and Big 10 get? Does the Big 10 just get 6, right? Maryland, Purdue, Michigan, Michigan State, Wisconsin, right? We'll see, how many more do they get. And Houston's going to be tough. They can be in the battle for the, maybe 3 seed. Kansas, you got to believe, is going to move up more. You know, in the SEC, they're going to have a bunch of teams. So I like how everything's playing out. Let the madness begin. March Madness, get your brackets ready. I got to tell you, I don't think outside of maybe the top 12, anybody can win outside the top 12 this year. I think it's really Kentucky, Tennessee. I don't know if Kansas is healthy enough. Michigan, right? North Carolina, Duke, Virginia, Gonzaga. So we're talking 7-8 teams that can legitimately, you know, win it all. There's the rest of the top 25. So I think it's going to be really fun. Get your upsets ready. You know, UCF, they make it, they're going to be dangerous, right? Washington, the Pac-12 is not that good, but Washington is the best of the Pac-12. We'll see how many teams they get into the tournament. You know, that NFL Combine was definitely impressive. You got to say that some of these teams who, you know, were really pushing it to see, you know, who's the top corner. Byron Murphy, Greedy Williams, you know, the safeties. Some of those corners are going to have to be safeties. The defensive line, it's Bosa, it's Williams. You know, those guys, Christian Wilkins, the Clemson players were all over the place, okay? They had talent everywhere. The Sanders kid replacing Saquon Barkley, good running back. Kansas State running back. What does Bryce Love do? You know, we'll see what happens. Oklahoma State kid got banged up. The quarterbacks, I think it's 3 in the first round, but then you have Locke, Finley, Will Grier. The 6'7" kid was pretty interesting. Let's see how Daniel Jones does. I think it's Kyler Murray, then Haskins, then Daniel Jones, then Locke. But you never know. There could be upsets in between there. But a lot of teams tend to like those guys the best. And what trades and free agent moves are going to happen? Where does Lev Bell go? Does he go to the Eagles, Colts, Jets, you know, Tampa Bay? Do they draft a running back at 5? I doubt it, right? Where do they go? So we'll talk about it. ERhymesSports in the building. Yeah, man. All right. Hip Hop Forever flavor. Check out True Speaker Hip Hop Forever on IG, ERhymesSports. Tweet at ERhymesSports and ERhymesSports on Facebook. Check out the Mock Draft 1.0. Peace.